Don't get me wrong, game playing is very important and you have to be smart, obviously, X's and O's are important. But to win those games and to go all the way, you need instinct. I try my best to balance the best of both worlds, and I'm not perfect, so sometimes I mess it up, of course. When I make mistakes, he allows me to make it. He's upset, of course, as he should be. I love Coach B, man. He's a player's coach, and we all believe in his system. He's a great leader. He got great charisma, and it's awesome. I've been able to learn a lot from him.
Evan, thank you for your time with us here in Eurohoops. How do you feel despite your huge experience as a Final Four rookie, and do you ask any tips from your teammates about these special circumstances?
I'm definitely excited. The season is coming to an end. 2 more games until there's a winner of the Euroleague, and hopefully that can be us. We've worked all season long to get to this moment, and hopefully we can seize it.
We know that teams don't have the ability to choose opponents, of course, but what are your first thoughts about the semi-final against Monaco?
Tough matchup, obviously. I think the best 4 teams are going to Abu Dhabi, the top 4 of the regular season. Each team has very good players. Each team has strengths, and should be a good matchup for basketball fans.
Bringing the energy, the fatigue, and the pressure of a 70-game season in 1 or 2 40-minute games can reveal any surprises?
Of course. When it's knockout games, there could be an X factor, there could be fatigue, there could be injuries, there could be many things that happens that influences the game. But that's what I guess makes it special, because there's so much at stake in one game that you always have surprises.
Can perhaps instinct overcome the game plan in such demanding matchups?
Yeah, of course. Don't get me wrong, game playing is very important and you have to be smart, obviously, X's and O's are important. But to win those games and to go all the way, you need instinct, you need a little bit of luck, if I'm being fair, but you need determination. Usually the team that plays the hardest wins.
What did you like the most about Olympiacos season so far?
Our togetherness. We started the season poorly. We were struggling to find our rhythm, struggling to let loose and play with confidence. But we never complained. We always practice hard, and we always had a good team spirit. And to me, that's the key for this team.
Was it hard for you to be yourself and be a part of Coach Bartzokas' style?
No, it wasn't hard at all. There was a transition, obviously, from what I've known in the NBA, but learning a new system and learning how to play with teammates, it takes time. So it was a few weeks trial, but after that it was fine.
Coach Bartzokas told us back in September that you wanted to talk to him before you signed your contract. How was your time together this season so far?
It was great. I love Coach B, man. He's a player's coach. He has a philosophy, and he swears by his philosophy, and I think it's good for a coach because he's able to really translate that to his players. And we all believe in his system. We all bought in, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be first. He's a great leader. He got great charisma, and it's awesome. I've been able to learn a lot from him.
After the away Monaco game, Coach Bαρτzoka said, and I quote, that when you have a player like Evan with the instinct and the desire to win, sometimes you allow him to go a little overboard. How was all your time together? Because you said, I guess as a joke, mostly that probably your coach wants to kill you because sometimes because of your shot selections.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in my position, I am who I am as a player, right? And I've always been very aggressive and played with instinct and all that, but sometimes you have to be careful because it can impact negatively your team because when you play Olympiacos basketball, it's ball movement, team movement. Mo has to swing, long possessions, etc. Sometimes I come in and I want to shoot after 3 seconds. So, of course, it can have a negative impact, and I'm aware of that. And I try my best to balance the best of both worlds. And I'm not perfect. So sometimes I mess it up, of course. And I think our relationship really worked this year because he knows that I want to win, and when I make mistakes, he allows me to make it. He's upset, of course, as he should be, but he doesn't try to bribe me or to try to say no, you can't do that. He gives me freedom, and I really appreciate him for that.
υπερήφανος χορηγός του Ολυμπιακού.
Do you still call the assistant coaches at 2-3 a.m.?
It was supposed to be a neutral team. I'm not sure why it got out, but no. Since that, I try to wait until the next day.
Stick to the timetable.
Yeah.
I hope you will understand that even if I'm not seeking about food recipes or places to eat, even though you probably know more good places than me in Athens, than I do, I have to combine your preferences and ask that if you would buy a dinner to your teammates, where would it be and what kind of food you would choose?
Buy dinner to my teammates. Man, there's a lot of good spots, lots of good spots. But it's with my teammates, so we have to eat healthy, something lean, veggies. I'd probably go to Papayano in Vuliahmeni.
If it was a cheat day?
A cheat day, I'd go to a tavern, for sure.
In a Euroleague social media debate, almost 9 months before you joined Olympiacos, about your favorite player in the competition, you answered Papalukas, no doubt, if you remember.
Yeah.
Theo is a Euroleague's legend and a special player for the Reds. Did you have a chance to meet him or talk to him?
We did. He actually he invited me for lunch. It was a few months ago, and ever since we've been talking, and it's great to meet him. I mean, I've been watching him, for years and years growing up. And it was amazing and such a good time I had with him. We were able to share his knowledge of the game and obviously his experience with me. So it was a great time.
Before you even wear the red jersey, you talked about a sacred club. And your connection to the crowd was instant. But please tell me, how do you handle the obvious pressure for a must-win tournament from the crowd?
Well, I think you need to use your fuel to give you even more motivation. You need to use your love of the team, your love of the fans, to help you, go the extra mile and do the extra effort and all those things. So. you have to use that as motivation.
Please let us show you a few clips from the season.
Sure.
Is a game winner in the NBA, and the second one is a game winner in Euroleague in Barcelona. Which one do you prefer?
I will show you the second one.
Yeah, the other one is Barcelona. Well, funny, but the shot in the NBA was actually my last shot with the Orlando Magic, because the next day I got traded to Boston. So that meant a lot to me because I spent 7 years in Orlando. But I will say the one in Barca, because there was no time left. I think there's like a few seconds in the one against Phoenix, and a buzzer beater is better than a game winner.
Of course. Second, there are two clutch shots versus Cedi Osman, both of them.
Yes.
One as a Magic player versus the Cavaliers, and the other one this season in Waka. Which one was the toughest to sink?
The toughest?
The toughest to sink.
The toughest? Probably the one against Pana, because it's off the dribble. We were down one. Probably Pana, but my favorite is the one against Orlando, the one against Cleveland, because it was my first buzzer beater.
And the last one?
The dance.
Yes.
Is this going to be a kind of reaction if you win the title in Abu Dhabi?
I didn't know the camera was on, so we had an interview, and the guy with the mic told me, we have 2 more minutes. So I was just waiting, and then I saw Bozo, the assistant coach, and I started dancing because it was a good win. I had no idea what was on screen. But yeah, I mean, if we win, you might see that again, for sure.
The second one against Osman is perhaps a preview matchup for the Euroleague final. Do you think something like that?
I'm only focused on Monaco.
And if, like the 2023 final for Olympiacos, the game goes down to one last shot, who's going to take it?
I have to say me. But hopefully it doesn't come to that.